More than 300 people a year die at level crossings in the United States. And yet, in many places, roads and railways still meet at the same level. A level crossing is exactly that intersection. A railway line crosses a road, a path, or sometimes even an airport runway. It is also called a grade crossing, a railroad crossing, or a railway crossing. The name changes, but the risk stays the same. There are more than 100,000 level crossings in Europe. North America has more than 200,000. They are far less compatible with high-speed rail. In Europe, they are virtually non-existent on high-speed lines. Early crossings often depended on a flagman in a booth. He would wave a red flag or lantern and try to stop everything in time. It was dangerous work. The train might not have enough distance to stop, and gatekeepers sometimes lost their lives. Over time, gated crossings became common. They helped keep people and livestock off the tracks when closed. By the second quarter of the 20th century, manual and electrical gates were being introduced. The goal was a full barrier against road traffic. Later, automatic crossings became commonplace in some countries. As horse-drawn vehicles disappeared, the need for animal protection faded too. In rural places with little traffic, the cheapest crossing can be the simplest one. Sometimes there are only warning signs and nothing else. That kind of warning-only crossing has been common across North America. It is also found in many developing countries. International rules help standardize some of the warning language. The 1968 Vienna Convention set out signals and stop lines for crossings. The convention treated level crossings as dangerous by design. It even called for a cross where there are no barriers or lights. The reason is simple. Trains are massive, and they take far longer to stop than road vehicles. So, trains usually do not stop at crossings. They depend on drivers and pedestrians to clear the tracks first. That can go wrong. The Hickson rail crash is one example of a heavy road transporter not clearing the line in time. Level crossings remain a major safety concern worldwide. On average, around 400 people die each year in the European Union. In the United States, the annual toll is over 300 deaths. Pedestrian collisions are especially likely to be fatal. Young people, older adults, and males are considered higher-risk pedestrian users. The danger is not evenly spread. Modern crossings may use flashing lights, warning sounds, and barriers. Older signs like stop, look, and listen were once the main defense. Fewer collisions happen where active warning systems are used. Radar sensors can even detect obstructions before the barriers come down. But even that has limits. A vehicle can still move onto the track too late for a locomotive to slow meaningfully. For that reason, crossings are being removed in many places. More road traffic, more rail traffic, and safety concerns are pushing the change. Melbourne is planning to close 110 level crossings by 2030. It also plans to rebuild 51 stations nearby. Some crossings exist inside stations instead. They let passengers reach other platforms when there is no bridge or underpass. In third rail systems, the rail itself has a gap at the crossing. Power can still continue through multiple current collectors. At nearby traffic lights, trains can trigger signal preemption. The intersection resets so road traffic clears before the barriers drop. The exact pattern can vary by city. Some intersections flash red in all directions, while others keep one lane green or yellow. Cameras have also been installed at some crossings. France uses them for technical investigations, England has installed them too, and South Australia uses them to deter violations. Level crossings do not just happen on roads. In rare cases, they cut across airport runways instead. At Gibraltar, Winston Churchill Avenue once crossed the runway at surface level. Movable barriers closed the road for aircraft movements. By March 2023, a tunnel under that runway had opened to regular traffic. The old crossing remained only for pedestrians, cyclists, and e-scooters. Kai Tak in Hong Kong once had the same problem. After the runway was extended in 1943, road traffic had to stop during takeoffs and landings. In Madagascar, the Fianarantsoa Côte Est Railway crosses the runway at Manakara Airport. It is one of the few active railway airport crossings in the world. New Zealand has another unusual example near Gisborne. There, trains cross one of the airport runways, and lights tell aircraft which section is open. Elsewhere, runway crossings have existed in places like Sweden, Switzerland, the Philippines, and the United Kingdom. Each one needed its own form of control. Some crossings were even linked to aviation safety systems. At Meiringen Air Base in Switzerland, electrically operated gates closed for aircraft movements. In Northern Ireland, one runway crossing was interlocked with railway block instruments in the control tower. That is a very specific kind of coordination. And in Shetland, the A970 road once crossed the runway at Sundberg Airport. Even airports can become crossing points. Level crossings are simple in form, but complicated in consequence. They sit at the point where speed, infrastructure, and human timing all have to align. That is why the world keeps redesigning them, guarding them, and removing them where possible, because at a level crossing, one mistake can be enough.